There are many aspects of the original animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie that will be incorporated into the latest live-action retelling. One of the plot points that has been significantly changed is the love story within the movie. But how changed is this story? Who is Jonathan? And what can viewers expect from the movie when it comes to this love story? Without further ado, let's jump straight in. Snow White's live-action remake is just under 4 weeks from release, and Disney are heavily working on promotion for the movie. In most of the promotional material, we've seen glimpses of Snow White, the Evil Queen and the Seven Dwarfs, but barely any full looks at the love story that is allegedly going to be a major driving force of this movie. Despite Rachel Zegler's comments regarding the prince/love story, the live-action movie moves forward because of it. The original story saw Snow White meeting the prince, and in true fairy tale fashion, it became love at first sight as the smitten prince declared his love for Snow, and even woke her from her sleeping curse with the use of true love's first kiss. Now, the screen time was somewhat limited for the prince, and this was mainly because Walt Disney's animators struggled with bringing human males to life on screen. They had so much planned for this character, but I will discuss that in another video. However, in the live action, the role of the prince has been transformed. Rather than a princely character who has arrived to sing romantic love songs to Snow, the prince is actually a Robin Hood type character who has been leading an active revolt against the evil queen's reign on the kingdom. He's eventually captured by the evil queen, and she orders his execution. Snow White saves him and takes pity on the character. As the kingdom is starving behind the gates of the castle, she hands him bread, which begins this deeper connection between the pair. It should be noted that Jonathan's character is apparently a childhood friend of Snow's, so their connection is already there from such a young age. Following her ordered execution, Snow finds herself at the dwarf's cottage. Now, I'm unsure how the movie unfolds here because it's not yet been released, but I do know that Snow and Jonathan reunite in the middle of the movie. The queen poisons Snow as per the animated classic, and Jonathan awakens her with true love's kiss, but then she enlists his help in taking back her kingdom from the queen. He calls upon his band of bandits, and they join forces with Snow and the dwarves to take back Snow White's kingdom. So presumably Jonathan does eventually become the prince he was meant to be at the end of this story, as he and Snow will stand as the saviours of the kingdom, so to say. The pair have a romantic duet planned titled Something to Do With You, which is allegedly reminiscent of the old school romantic Disney songs from the Renaissance era. When discussing the character of Jonathan, Rachel Zegler said, "I think people aren't expecting the humour that Andrew's character Jonathan will bring to the story. I think the most comparable character would be Flynn Rider in Tangled." Andrew Burnap, who plays the character, was also quoted saying, "Jonathan doesn't take anything seriously, including at sometimes the movie itself. I basically get to come in and try and offer a little bit of humour and sarcasm, then say, no, you need to take this seriously." Analysing this here is very interesting because on one hand, the relationship between the prince and Snow was completely downplayed a couple of years ago, yet here we've learned it's the driving force. I think the issue with this is how the actors handle the discussion about this topic. All of what we've learned so far is so much more detailed than what came before, in the animated movie. There's no denying it. So why has this romance been downplayed so much, especially when it's clear it's such a significant force on the movie? If you're expecting some kind of girl boss movie that's more about empowerment of female characters, then it is likely you will see traces of that. But the romance is definitely not downplayed, nor is this character sidelined somewhat. In fact, Snow wouldn't be able to retake her kingdom without him. I've watched many live-action actresses downplay romantic elements from the past, and it's a silly statement to make. I don't want to speak for everyone, but Disney fans tend to love the romantic aspect of those princess movies. In fact, it's that whole narrative of finding true love that makes the stories in these movies so endearing. The reality is 90% of the live action movies have actually expanded on their romantic plots. So to avoid the topic altogether and kind of say, it's not about the romance in this movie, it was so silly to say something like that when it literally is about the romance. All of these details are so in Jonathan's favour in the live action, but it still makes me disappointed we didn't get Walt Disney's original plans for the prince in his original version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I will be covering that in the next couple of days on this channel. What are your thoughts? Would you rather have seen Jonathan be a fully fledged prince in the live action movie? Or is it something that doesn't really bother you? Drop a comment below and let's have a discussion about this. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you back here to delve into more of Walt Disney's diaries and discuss some upcoming Disney news.